Hello. I'm Andra, and this is Lorilet Monegro, and we are Soul's Code. So today we were talking about everything under the sun other than what we were going to do the show on. But Lorilet had mentioned something at the end about the quality of life today, because I'm working on a project and I'm trying to put something real out there, because we really don't have the substance, like Laura was saying, that we focus all on work today and not on really building our minds and having these conversations and having a quality of life. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today and what a quality of life really looks like, um, where you get to a place of expansion because you don't feel emotionally broke or uneducated, and you really can write your own script out there here in America today. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think that, you just have to almost, if you think about the process of healing, like there's a lot of healing that has to be done around all of this kind of scattered and broken way of living. Because the reason why I was commenting about quality of life is because of what I said to you before we came on regarding the fact that, work has taken the priority above and all everything else because we are living in such a survival mentality and just everything has become so weird as opposed to thinking that the priority is to have a great quality of life. We don't have that anymore. And I think that it's a time to really start rethinking and demanding better from, the powers that be, the people that are running the show. What are they doing with the money? What are they doing with the taxes that they tax us on? Because I feel every American is working hard, probably harder than they've ever had. And somehow we're not experiencing the sense of joy that should come from that effort, translated into a lifestyle and a quality of life and the surroundings. Like you look around you, things don't look luxurious, things don't look amazing here. Infrastructure is crumbling, things are not where they need to be. And yet I feel like we're working and working and working and working. Um, and so I think there's a rethinking and a lot of healing that has to happen um, for us to kind of come out of this. Um,
But I think when people are stuck in that mentality, that it doesn't get better. So, um, a lot of people feel like they're stuck in that pivot point where they want to do this, but they can't because they need to stay here because this pays the bills and this doesn't,
Right.
you know. So a lot of people are like in that stuck between place. Well, I want to move to this, but I know what I have here, and um education and stuff. There's so many people online that are always, talk about writing fables. They're, they're always they're always saying, you come online, you make $100,000 a month, you make 2,000, 200,000 a month, and that doesn't happen anytime soon. You know, the average coach makes about 30,000 a year, 12 to 30,000 a year, especially when they're just getting started. So, and there are so many opportunities online that even if they don't have any skills, they can sell somebody else's products and make good money doing that too. But people are so skeptical because of all the nonsense that's out there
Mhm.
that they're not in that trust mode, and we're not creating a place of trust in society, because even though there's good people, there's a lot of bad too, right? And trying to decipher between who's good and who's bad in a very big market is hard for people. They don't know who to trust anymore. They don't know what to believe, right? So that's a big part of it too. So I like to try some of these gimmicks just so just so I can say, because for me it helps me show people how vulnerable people are willing to be to get an outcome, right? So let me give you an example. There was this thing online the other day, right? That and you see them rubbing this green stuff on their face and blackheads coming out right away, like all these black spots, big, and then them just wiping it off, right? So I said, well, gee,
Like by
I said,
magic?
yeah, like by
Oh,
magic. And I said, gee, isn't that interesting?
okay.
So I bought two sticks and gave it to two people. And I said, I want you
Hmm.
to go home and I want you to try this. And please take a picture and tell me what you think. So they said that their skin felt soft afterwards, but they didn't see any of these blackheads appear. They didn't see any like exfoliation. But literally, when you put this on online, when these people are doing it, you see these blackheads coming to the surface, and it looks like all you have to do is take a face cloth and wipe them off, and you have the best skin in the world. So when you look at things like that, then you have these other things that are out there. They're like Botox, things that you roll on, and you look 20 years younger. And the amounts of people in those chats and purchasing those items is unbelievable.
Uh, yeah, because they envision that that's what's going to happen. So there's a belief.
Yeah, but why would anybody believe that you can repair the collagen in your skin? Like even those hyaluronic acids and things like that, topical treatments, they're not going to repair lost collagen. So, it's unrealistic. People are paying a lot of money, and the people that are selling it know it doesn't work. And that's part of the whole thing. So when we talk about educating ourselves, that's a part of education, reality based and fiction based, right? You have to kind of know the difference, even though it sounds good. My mother always said if it sounds good, too good to be true, it's probably not, right? And
Most likely it's not.
but
Yes.
that's what my mother always said,
That's
and
I,
I believe it.
I think before people had more common sense, people now want things instantaneously. I feel like people grew up with this idea of, the microwave. To be honest with you, I never knew of a microwave until I came to this country. Like there's no such thing. Like, it's weird. And the same thing about fast food. I never knew fast food until I came to this country. Um, so I tell you, it has to do with the mentality. They equate one as if it's being efficient, but the problem is the quality output. It would be efficient if it were maintaining quality that doesn't destroy the human being. Unfortunately, we have a lot of weird stuff going on that I observe, and it's like we're paying very high price. We're paying with our lives for all of this stuff that seems like quick and fast comfort. And it's not. It's actually
It's not comforting at all, and
destruction.
it's making the world sicker.
It's
But
very sick.
we do have to come to a place where, because we are the buyers. So if you're not buying what they're selling, then they're going to have to start selling better quality stuff that is more health based, right? So look at what happened with COVID. During COVID, everybody was scared, right? And everybody started worrying about gut health. And, then all of a sudden you see gut health all over the
Everybody
news.
is a gut health expert, and they
Yeah, all over the news. And, they're all saying the same exact thing. And most of it, 99% of
never.
what they're saying is bullshit. Um,
Yes.
and
Eh,
I
You know.
I know that because that's my thing. But they couldn't sell they couldn't sell the sickness anymore, so they moved to wellness.
Yes.
but it's ridiculous with the amounts of things that are out there promising everybody a rose garden. And that's not happening. Nobody's going out in their backyard and seeing a rose garden. So I don't know what it's going to take for people to move to that place where they stop looking outside of themselves. Usually it comes to a place where people hit a bottom, and they've tried everything and they see this doesn't work, and then they actually put in the steps and start to do the work themselves, right? Because they then get that mentality, I could do a better job myself, right? When they're paying thousands of dollars for products and services and they're not getting outcomes or root cause analysis taken care of when they're getting these products. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I tell you, Andra, I feel like the problem right now is the entire world is a controversial space. And I think that when you think of people and you think of all these weird choices people are making, most of the people, they just want to see things done. I feel like even the way people buy whatever it is and get into all these gimmicks and get into all of these weird, I'm gonna say they're situations, or I don't even know if that's a good word because it's not situation. It's they engage. They actually open their wallets, pay for things. They actually sit down and watch somebody basically scam them for 30 minutes, an hour. They do these things because I think that people want a quick fix, people want a way out, people want to change their lives, and people feel desperate. And it's a very telltale sign of where we are, just as a society, as a collective, not only from the standpoint of the person that's engaging, but also from the other person that's creating all these lies and all these scams and all these weird conditions to basically rip people off for a quick buck. So it's like the two, and this is why
Twofold.
you see it like one, that it's like so many people are needy because again, we've destroyed quality lifestyle. We Most people, if they're honest, they'll be telling you, no, I'm not feeling like like we're having a quality lifestyle. I don't think that that's the common experience, that people are having a high quality lifestyle.
No, no.
And I think
It's
it's so sad to watch how this is happening and how dynamically there seems to be almost like, I don't know, no way to fix it because you have also a bunch of corrupted people,
But
that
they're corrupted from the bottom up. The corruption goes all the way up. So,
yes, that's what I'm
you
saying.
know, it goes all the way up and all the way down. So it's learning to
Hmm.
find smarter ways to change the current, because when two or more people gather in my name, right? So, but if you we're stronger together. So if we can come together as people on points and listen to one another and give each other that space and give people a hand up instead of, always with their hands out, taking from, money that they probably need for their families and stuff like that. Um, it's just bemusing to see some of the things that happen out there, you know um
Yes.
because I mean I can look at them and see that they have no basis in reality, you know um because I mean it's just bizarre that anyone would think, even that thing that they're selling on TV with that old man's eyes, that um it tightens the skin. Yeah, it's got like glue in it. Of course it tightens the skin.
People want
He
to be
just
young.
glued his face in 60 seconds or less. Yeah, because he's gluing his skin together. But
He
those things aren't natural. They're not. you can't even put all those things on your skin because it's not letting your pores breathe. So it doesn't make sense. And all of these things are further damaging our environment,
Yes.
which then affects our lifestyle on that level, you know.
Yes.
So we have to come together as people and stand together for what we believe in as a society, because like you said in the beginning, people are working really, really, really hard,
They
and
are.
it's only going to get worse,
They all are.
with the new chiefs in town. So it's it's
Well,
only
let's
going to get.
see. We don't know. Let's hope that, we have a huge recovery, a real V recovery, meaning we go in a dip and then the high point is like out of the park. But I suspect it's going to take time because when you look at all the crippled economy that we have and the lack and the inability to, manufacture nearly anything in the name of global trade, just because some people want to exploit uh, the job market overseas, we have crippled ourselves.
We
And,
have,
and
and the
so,
intention
the
is,
greed behind it is bad.
but the intention is to bring that back here because our own government sold out our farmers, right? So
Yes.
now we're not making anything here. And guess what? Guess what? We're in the situation because we allow that. So
No,
we
agreed.
do
It's
have to
greed.
start making things back here in America.
Mhm.
There was a time when made in America meant something.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't anymore,
High quality stuff, really wonderful things. I remember the seal with a star, pride, made in USA with pride, um, and it was a gold star, I mean, a red star with blue letters and, the white little ticket on it. So it had the white, blue, and the red. Like I remember when I came to this country, how there was so much pride in everything, and how you would pay for things, but things were high quality. I don't know. I feel like we've lost touch and we need to get in touch with reality. We haven't built anything back better. And in the name of this global expansion or whatever, a lot of things don't make sense. Global expansion should not be destructive. It should be constructive for everyone. And unfortunately, they just exploited um, everything overseas for cheap labor, but none of that translated into better quality of life for us. Think about it. We're just being fed a whole bunch of cheap
Yeah,
products, but
yeah,
we have not improved quality of life here. Nobody
nothing.
here
If
is
anything,
enjoying
it
anything
just got
fancy.
worse, and we're getting slammed on the front end and the back end.
So
So
hopefully we change our ways.
so that's enough from us today. We think we gave you plenty to think about. But as a people, I want to encourage you to really voice your opinions and get out there and say what's on your mind, because we can only change things when we stand behind one another and we go to bat for each other, and um, we're willing to break barriers, right? Lorilet and I show up and we do these shows. It's not about what people think. We're out there sharing our views and what our lifestyles are like, and we're living here in America. And if
Yeah.
we want change, we're hoping that some of you do too, because right now it's not looking all that pretty. So I
And it's
hate to
important
be
to
a
emphasize.
Debbie Downer,
But it's important to
but
emphasize too that these are our opinions here. We're not telling people what to do, what to think, where to go. I personally, this is just, like I have my 2 cents, right? And my opinion, but nobody has to agree or disagree. It's just my opinion. Period. Like, and this is not me on a personal level, if I have to make an assessment of a case or anything. Nope, this is just me, the human being, the independent person, just kind of having these conversations because I feel like a lot of people don't want to have open conversations about anything. And it's weird. We're
I
supposed to be able to
agree.
communicate.
I agree. So we'll be back shortly with another communication episode. And we want to thank you for coming in. We really enjoy this time for you. So in our personal lives, I'm a nurse and a holistic practitioner, and Lorilet is a speech pathologist, and we also have personal businesses, right? So if you're looking for help with any of those things and you're really not sure where to go, if you have questions and you're not sure, and they fall under those categories, please feel free to reach out to us. If you have a child that's struggling with speech or language issues, please you feel free to reach out to Lorilet Monegro. And if you want to get back in a body you love, then I'd be that girl. So feel free to reach out. And thanks for stopping in. Have a great day.